Sorry. So you talked a lot about getting the government out of education, and I'm wondering how far that spans. And not just education, I'm talking about like business or really anything. Because personally, I'm very tired of the federal government, or any government for that matter, dictating morality to the people. With regards to abortion, I understand that's touchy because we're talking about it could be murder. But you know, what about gay marriage? It really bothers me in a presidential debate when we have Syrian refugees and ISIS and things that are really important to be talking about, and we're asked things like, do you support gay marriage? So I'm curious, how much of that will you stop? How much of that will are you in support of the government getting out of? And yeah.
Well, I never wanted the government involved in the definition of marriage. It's the supporters of same-sex marriage that asked the federal government to get involved in the definition of marriage. Marriage has always been defined by states. Marriage has always been regulated by states. That's why people go and get married in Las Vegas. Because in Las Vegas, you can get married by an Elvis impersonator in 30 seconds. In Florida, you got to wait 3 days. They have different laws. So my argument has always been the same. I support the definition of marriage as one man and one woman. If you don't agree with me, go to the state legislature and have them pass a law that changes the definition. But that's not what they did. They went to the U.S. Supreme Court, and they had the court system intervene and say that there's a constitutional right to it. I don't believe the federal government has a role to play in the definition of marriage. I think that belongs at the state level. That's always been regulated by states. The federal government is a limited government, designed largely to protect us. It's the #1 obligation of the federal government is to keep us safe. So I hope our next president will be me, and I hope our next president will be someone that has this view. Number one, not every problem in society has a government answer. There are a lot of horrible things happening in the world. They don't all have a government answer. They don't. And number two, if it has a government answer, it might not be a federal government answer. It might be a local government answer, or a state government answer, or a school board government answer. And we need to start accepting that every issue in America, the president can't solve them all. Okay, I can't do anything about concussions in football. I can't. I mean, there's no law. I'm anti-concussion. I don't like concussions. But I can't do anything about it. I mean, that's not a federal presidential issue, as an example. So, again, I can't do anything about the fact that Dolphins don't win. I mean, it's very frustrating. And you mock me here with these Patriot hats and stuff. I will force Tom Brady to retire. Because I'm going to offer him a cabinet job or something, you know. So, it's 38 years old, for God's sake. Come on. Anyway, let me just get off that. It's very depressing. Not every issue has a federal government answer. And you say about legislative morality, look, in some ways, we always have. We believe murder is immoral. That's why murder is illegal. We believe that theft is immoral, and that's why theft is illegal. But ultimately, right and wrong is not a function of our laws. Laws can tell you what's legal and illegal. Right and wrong is what's taught in a family and reinforced in a strong community. And we need to get back to that principle. We are never going to have a strong country without strong families. We never will. Hard work, self-control, respect for others, these things are values that have to be taught to you. No one is born with these values. They're taught to you. They're taught to you by your parents and what you see them say, and what they say, and more importantly, in what they do. And they're reinforced by the community around us. I think we have to get back to the notion that if we want to have a strong people, and you can't have a strong country without strong people. You can't have strong people without strong values, and you can't have strong values without strong families. And that is our responsibility as mothers and fathers and husbands and wives and members of a community. It's not government's responsibility. Government's job is to provide for our safety and our security and to protect our God-given liberties and rights. The rest is up to us as individuals. So I hope we stop looking to the government to answer every problem in our society, because it can't. And when it tries, it makes things worse.